Welcome to Kumba Software DPAA tutorials. This tutorial is about advanced object search. If you watch the simple object search, you'll see different things in the video there that, is the basic things that you can do when searching an object. But this video goes far more in depth about advanced object searching and how you can find things in very advanced ways. So be sure to set your video playback to high definition, and though some visual details may have changed since this video was created, the functionality will be the same. So we already have DPAA running. We have a couple of appliances selected. I've selected a couple of domains, and under the Find Objects type, I had the HTTPS Source Protocol Handler type selected. I've already entered an object type name here to be able to just search by name and make this a lot more obvious about what's going on. Now, if I search just by name, like we did in the previous video on just simple finding objects, you can see we have a number of HTTPS source protocol handlers with the word Tango in it. If I click on this filter icon, it's a couple of over from the field there, you can see there's a filter-like icon. Pay attention to the look of it, where it's going to change here in a little bit. I'm going to click on that icon, and we're going to get a table that shows us the ability, or gives us the ability, to do an advanced object search. I'm going to click on the plus button above this table list here to add a row, and then I'm going to click in the property name field and drop down the property names. Now, this list of property names is a list of properties applicable to the HTTPS protocol handler type, because this is the type that I have selected to search for. So I'm going to go down here to the TLS type, and I'm going to select TLS server type, and I'm going to type the word server. And then we're going to apply and close. So now when I search, I'm going to get back a list of HTTPS protocol handlers who had the word Tango somewhere in their name, and whose TLS server type is server. Notice how the icon has changed with a little indicator that there's something under that, or there's something that you're searching for in the advanced window. And the advantage of seeing that is that if your search is not coming back the way you expect it to, and then you see the little X there, this could explain why. I'm going to pull that window back up, and I'm going to change this to the word proxy. And we'll see that we'll get a different list now than the whole list. So now we're going to see only those HTTPS source protocol handlers whose names have Tango in the name, whose TLS server type is proxy. Last example we're going to show you at this moment is, you may have noticed that this says matching expression. So what I can do in here is I can type a parentheses. In fact, I'm not going to take the word proxy out. I'm just going to type a parentheses, and then I'm going to move over and type a vertical bar, and then I'm going to type SNI, or Sierra November India, and then close the parentheses. This can be a regular expression. There are many other ways we could do this, but this can be a regular expression. So there's almost no way you can never find what you're looking for. You can find what you're looking for because this is a regular expression. I'm going to select apply and close, and then I'm going to search again, and you're going to be able to see that now I've got all HTTPS source protocol handlers that are either a proxy or an SNI type containing the name Tango, or containing Tango in the name. And so this gives you some really advanced searching capabilities, and you can search against multiple properties as you like, and we'll demonstrate that here in a little bit. I'm going to change the type of object now to the load balancer group, because this involves a different type that we may see. If I search for all load balancer groups at this point, you see I got quite a number of them. But what if we need to find all load balancer groups having a member containing the letters, containing a port, say 636. So again, I go into this advanced search icon. I don't even have to worry about name in this case. I'm going to drop this down. And again, this property list is showing me only the properties that apply to a load balancer group, and pretty much what you would expect to find. So I'm going to select members. And one thing about the members list of the load balancer group is it is a complex array of object types. And so when we search against a list or an array of object types, we're looking for something that's in there. So in this particular case, I'm searching for 636. Now, coincidentally, if the name of a member contained the 636 somewhere in it, this would also work for that type. But I'm going to go ahead and select apply and close, and then I'm going to search. So what happens now is we're going to get a list of load balancer groups where at least one member has 636 somewhere in its name. Now we can prove that. I'm just going to go ahead and select a couple of these, and I'm going to select Manage Load Balancer Group Members to be able to pull up a window and show you that we have a number of mapped ports and health ports that contain the number 636. But as I mentioned before, if this name contains 636 or the weight was 636, then you would see that. And even if it's 6363, we would see that in here as well. So I'm going to close this window. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a different type. And I'm going to control or command click to select that different type. So now I've got both load balancer group and logging targets selected at one time. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into this filter icon, and I'm going to add a row. Now you might be looking at this and saying, well, why didn't my 636 show back up? Well, that's because I've selected two different types, and DPAA is saying, wait a minute, what are you really searching for here? So I'm going to go back into here. I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to select members again, as I did before. But wait a minute, there's more properties here than were here before. You're right, because I've selected both load balancer group and logging target. And so what I'm getting now is an aggregated list of all of the properties that belong to both either a load balancer group or a logging target. So I'm going to start out by selecting members, and I'm going to type 636. And then I'm going to select the plus button. And over here, I'll select the OR operator just for the fun of it. Then I'm going to drop this property name out. And what I'm going to be looking for this time is number of rotations. And I'm going to type 10. Now, members is a property that belongs only to load balancer groups, and number of rotations is a property belonging only to logging targets. But DPAA is not going to get confused here, and it's not going to cause an error to do this. What we're just simply demonstrating is a likelihood in reality that you would search for this particular thing is unlikely, but what we're trying to show you is that you can select multiple types and you'll get an aggregate list of properties that can list all the types at once. So if you're looking for a particular scenario of maybe all of one thing that has one setting and that's related to another thing that has another setting, and you want to find all those in the same list at once, you can do that. I'm going to select apply and close, and I'm going to go ahead and search here. And what we're going to get back is what you think we're going to get back. We're going to get a set of load balancer groups who have at least one member, and we've already seen that and proven that. We're going to get back that it has at least one member with 636 as a port, and then we get back a list of logging targets that had a number of rotations set to 10. And here's the honest part of this. It could be 100, it could be 1,000, or it could be 101 or some number like that, just as long as 10 is in the number, because it assumes you're typing a regular expression even though you type a simple value. The last thing we're going to be doing is showing you a couple of more things. You'll notice that in the domain selection, there are a couple of domains here with a stethoscope next to them. And what this means is that at least one service in these domains have the probes enabled. And so what we want to be able to do is we want to quickly be able to find probes enabled. And I'm going to select the multi-protocol gateway type, and I'm going to scroll all the way down here and select the XML firewall service type. So I have two different types selected here, the multi-protocol gateway and the XML firewall service. I'm going to select the advanced search here, and I'm going to select the add row to add to a properties type, and I'm going to drop this down, and what I'm looking for is the probe field. So the probe setting is what I'm looking for here, and in DataPower that is on rather than enabled. So, but if you don't know, if you're sitting here and you're wondering, is it on or enabled? I can't remember. You can type a regular expression, so you can just do a regular expression and get either one. So even if you can't remember. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to search for that, and we're going to see that we have a set of services. Now we can find the exact services where those probes are on, because this status is just telling us that a probe is on. Really what this is just domain status. We're now finding where probes are on. Here we're finding the services where those probes are on. And if I wanted to, let's say these are production boxes, and I just want to shut off all the probes, I could select them all, I could right mouse click and disable the probes for all those services right here and now. And it would solve that problem. This allows you to just quickly find those services where those probes are turned on. Now this is a pretty common thing in the world. It turns out that you do this quite frequently, and it'd be really nice if I didn't have to type this in and select that property and select every single time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type probes on in this little field over to the right. And I'm going to select save. And I want you to notice it showed up over here in the saved searches. So the really cool thing about that is if I clear this table now and select apply and close, and I were to go now and search, I would get a real big mess, right? I would get every XML firewall and every multi-protocol gateway in the selected domains. But I can turn this back on and see there it is. All I have to do is click on it, apply and close, and go. And now I can quickly come back. Now this is saved between sessions of DPAA. So if I shut DPAA down right now and open it back up, I'm still going to have that search that's available for me. Now, one of the neat things about it is that you can save as many as you want, and as you're managing these things, you can save as many different types as you want. But let's suppose I select something like this SQL data source, and I go into the screen here. Probes on doesn't make much sense here. This isn't going to make much sense. So it's still there, but it's not going to make much sense for one of these other types that you may have selected. But it's very convenient for you when you need to be able to repeat a search you've done in the past. That's all we have for this video. I hope you learned something from it. If you have any other questions or comments, or you want to see all the rest of the tutorial videos we have for DPAA, go out to www.kumbasoft.com. You can go to the features and tutorials and see all the tutorials, or you can go to the contact us list and put in a technical support ticket or make a suggestion. We love to hear suggestions. This is a customer-driven product. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.